Yes guys, welcome back to the Matchday experience. Now today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different here on my post-match thoughts from the Carabao Cup final. Now I was requested to do this video by one of my viewers, so here it is, let's get into it. A few things I want to talk about, of course the game itself, the players involved, the managers and the substitutions and how they played a key role in the game. Also, of course, we have to talk about the two goals, one from Casemiro and one from Rashford, which I believe has gone down as a Sven Botman own goal. Another thing to take note of was Loris Karius' performance, and to be honest with you, I don't think he was that bad. Yes, he should have done better on that second goal. He really needed to be safe in that, but when there is a deflection, it is of course hard for any goalkeeper. However, he does go down really early. If you ask me, the injuries also played a big role in today's game. Now, I know no one was forced off of injury. However, Bruno Guimaraes was down a couple of times and also Fabian Schär didn't look too comfortable. A lot of the Newcastle players looked a little bit dazed. Maybe it was a bit much for them. I don't really want to say that, of course, wearing a Newcastle shirt, but it just seemed one step too far. That said, though, it's a very exciting time for Newcastle fans at the moment. And yes, they didn't win today. However, the top four chase is still on. They can easily still do that. Yes, maybe they needed one or two more signings in January. However, they still do look really strong. Of course, they have Nick Pope back next week as well. And Bruno Guimaraes, as long as he isn't injured from today's game, then he should be fit to play. Isak as well. He looked really bright when brought on at half-time. That was a big call from Eddie Howe. I think he needed to do it, of course, being 2-0 down. Longstaff has been decent this season. He's had a bit of a revival under Eddie Howe, but he just wasn't really cutting it in today's final. And of course, when you need a goal, you've got to bring on your record signing who's a striker. On the game itself, though, I think Newcastle were the better side overall, especially for the first half an hour, 35 minutes. They had control, they had a lot more possession. United didn't really do it. It was a little bit like when they played Barcelona in midweek. It just wasn't really working for them. But Newcastle, unfortunately, couldn't make the most out of their chances. And then once Casemiro put United's first goal in, from there it sort of went downhill. Speaking of Casemiro as well, he was really good today. I believe he got man of the match and it was fully deserved. He was a great leader, hyping up the United fans and the players, and he was really getting everyone going. Also, we can mention the two centre-backs, Martinez and Varane. They've been immense all season and we do have to give a lot of credit to them today. Now, of course, it is very unfortunate that Newcastle didn't win, but for Man United, they haven't won a trophy in several years, so it is nice for them. And also, I do think Ten Hag played a crucial role in today's game. Not obviously just as the manager, but the timings of his substitutions, who he brought on, and how they had an effect on the game. For example, bringing Sabitzer and McTominay on, I only expected Sabitzer, to be honest. It was his first Carabao Cup appearance, but Ten Hag has that trust in him, so fair play to him for actually going with it. Also, Anthony as well, first start since coming back from his injury. He was very impressive in my opinion. But if we take a little bit of a deeper look into Man United's goals, the first one, of course, was that cross from Luke Shaw. The free kick itself was a little bit soft in my opinion, but you can't take anything away from the beauty of a cross that Luke Shaw put into the box. That was absolutely fantastic, and Casemiro did really well. Of course, VAR did check it, and it was very tight, but I'm quite glad. I know, obviously, I was supporting Newcastle, but I am in a way glad that it was given, because I think to not give that would have been extremely harsh. I know it was tight, but of course it was given. Obviously, it sounds weird saying I'm glad it was given, but you don't really want VAR to affect the final like that. Unfortunately, both the referee and VAR weren't too bad today. Not too much controversy, which is always nice to see in a final. Another thing though, the second goal, like I mentioned, Karius arguably could have done better. It was nice from Rashford, but we have to give a lot of credit to Wout Weghorst as well. He did really well, almost made the goal up from nothing. Rashford got a little flick, but it was Weghorst who created it. He didn't do loads today going forward. However, we've seen it before from Man United. The way that he gets back and helps out his team, he was very impressive today, to be honest with you. I know I spoke about Bruno G earlier for Newcastle, but I have to talk about him again. He was phenomenal as always. Of course, he's missed a couple of games due to that suspension, but he came in and he didn't look like he had been away at all. I know the injuries didn't help. However, Joelinton and Miguel Almiron, they were okay. Trippier was trying to create some things. His corners, in my opinion, though, they had 3 or 4 corners and Trippier should have done better with all of them in that second half, especially when Newcastle really stepped it up around the hour mark. Between 60 and 70, that was their time for them to really get back into the game. Had they scored then, I think it possibly could have changed the whole dynamic of the game, with United obviously needing to sit back, but with Newcastle just not creating enough and not finishing it, with 2 strikers on the pitch, it was always going to be United's game. Another player that had quite a big impact on the game was Aaron Wan-Bissaka. For me, Saint-Maximin was having a lot of joy, especially around half an hour when he had that chance against Dalot, who was booked really early on. And of course, that shows Ten Hag's class and know-how of what to do. If I'm honest with you, if he hadn't done that, I think Dalot was definitely at risk. So Maximin looked really, really bright in that second half, and Wan-Bissaka didn't do too badly up against him, but he still had a little bit of joy. Overall though, if you ask me, it was a fantastic substitution. Going back to Anthony as well, I thought he was quite good overall, and he really wound up Joelinton, getting him that yellow card. His skills are very nice, to be fair, I have to admit that. And of course, when you're doing that in front of the Newcastle fans, it's always going to wind them up, and I really felt sorry for those who did travel to Wembley today, because they really didn't have anything to smile or cheer about throughout the entire game. That said, the fact that they were there in the first place is absolutely amazing. Considering a few years ago, they were in the Championship with Mike Ashley as the owner, and it was all going wrong. Now they've got new owners in, new players, a new manager, and they're on the up. And like I mentioned earlier, the top 4 challenge is more than capable of being done this season. But overall guys, there are my thoughts on today's game. I wanted to keep it a nice and short video today because of course I want to get this up right after. But let me know what you guys thought of the comments down below, whether you're a neutral, a United fan or a Newcastle fan. Also, Geordies, I'm hoping to be at the game against Manchester City on Saturday. Maybe I'll be in the away end, maybe I'll be in the home end, we'll see. But I'm really hoping to be there and cheer the boys on. Let's see if they can get some redemption from today's game. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want me to do more videos like this with reactions or talking about games or more Newcastle or Man United content, then please do leave a comment and let me know what you think. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.